What's going on, guys? I'm back here at Bob Boast Volkswagen, Bradenton, Florida, checking out this brand new 2022 Volkswagen Arteon SE R-line edition, so the base trim model. Today I'm going to take you on the complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out on the interior, exterior, take it for a test drive, and the end of this video, the whole 9 yards. Well, guys, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and I'm Matt the Car Guy. I post 2 reviews every week, different cars every week. So if you like automotive content, check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing, really means a lot to me. Also, if you like that video, give me the thumbs up. Now let's get back to this vehicle. Volkswagen introduced the Arteon back in 2017. It was supposed to be like a direct successor to the outgoing CC model. However, this one is more upscale. This one is also a larger vehicle, and it's aiming after a little bit different clientele, in my opinion. Now, it's also very unique in its market segment, because if you think about it, I mean, it is a fastback, and we're going to check that out in just a little bit. There's only a few vehicles that are like this. Now, some of them are very expensive. Now, starting with the Audi A5, which is also in Volkswagen family. Now you have the Mercedes AMG GT. That's also a fastback, but that's, you know, you're talking about 100 grand. Now, this is an SE R-line, so this is base model, and it's got a full MSRP of just over $42,000. That's including destination. And this has not been upgraded basically with any features that you can see on the exterior other than some of the accessories that I'll show you in just a little bit. But let's take a look at this vehicle. It is pretty cool. Definitely a different design. Now, Volkswagen updated this vehicle in 2021, so there's only some minor changes. One of the biggest changes on the 2022 Arteon lineup is that all of them get the R design package, which gives you this little sportier design on the exterior of this vehicle. I also like this clamshell hood. It does have a few distinct body lines. It's very long, big Volkswagen logo. You have some chrome stripes over here on this very large grille, an R design over here, and then this color, by the way, if you like it, it's called the Moonstone Gray. Very nice. A lot of manufacturers are using a similar colors. And then if you're looking at the lights right here, they're fully LED lights. Now, that's what you get on the base model. Now, if you upgrade it to the highest end trim, you'll get the light up grille. So you have the light that goes all the way across, connecting those 2 lights. They're also going to have the adaptive lighting. You don't get this on the base one. Also, right here, you have the functional air intakes, air vents right here to help with the aerodynamics of this vehicle, and a very nice overall design of the lower portion right here. But one of the biggest differences, and the most anticipated one for this year, is actually what's underneath the hood. So let's pop it open. Let's see what's underneath it. Check this out. The exciting part is right underneath the hood, but before we take a look at it, let's take a look. Hood struts on both sides, very nice. Also on top of the hood, you do have some heat shield over here to protect it from overheating. And you have some noise shield and insulation right there. Now, if you look at the engine itself, some people like it, some people hate it. I think I would like to see the engine cover on top of it. It looks like everything is exposed, but hey, maybe a lot of people would like to see that. Also, what's very interesting right here, see, the Volkswagen family also include the Audi, right? So you have the Audi logo on several different components and the parts right there. Now, what's interesting about this engine, it's a 2.0 liter TSI 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 300 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Also, what's changed is the transmission. Volkswagen dropped their 8-speed transmission in favor of a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. So we're going to check that out. Now, it is a very fast vehicle. Under 5 seconds, 0 to 60. Some channels tested it at 4.6, but that was 4 motions. What we have here is a front-wheel drive. Even though this Arteon is a successor to the CC, it's nothing like this. It's got a kind of a similar characteristics because it is a sports coupe, and we've seen that on other models. The BMW had it, Mercedes had it with their CLS, now the AMG GT is a very similar concept. Audi, which is probably the closest to this vehicle with their A5 Sportback model, that is very similar to this, and that's probably the closest competition. Now, that's in the luxury market. If you take out the non-luxury market, what I would put it against, it's probably a Kia Stinger. That's also a fastback. But let's concentrate on this. I like this moonstone gray color. It really pops, and I like how they did all the trimming around it. A little bit of chrome underneath it, chrome around the window. Now, this is more of a satin chrome. It's not as shiny. And you have the mirror covers the same color as the rest of the vehicle. You have the turn signal indicator that's on the mirrors itself, and then you have the smart entry system, and that's on all four doors, not just the front ones. R-line trim over here, and this is the standard wheels that you get with it. Now, these are 18-inch wheels, 245 by 45 by 18. This is the size of these tires, and that's what you get with it. Now, the cool part is in the back, so let's check it out. This is where it gets interesting on this vehicle. I like the back end of it. It definitely looks like an Audi, kind of, especially when you look at the lights. Now, the fully LED taillights on it. I like how this is slowed back. You have this third brake light that's incorporated. This is a thin strip of light right over here. It's nice and sloped, and it does have this trunk lid spoiler right on the back of it for the more sportier look. Big Volkswagen logo, Arteon spelled out right on top of it. You do have some fake exhaust right at the bottom. Not a big fan of it, but hey, you know, it is what it is. It does have some reflective lights inside of here. And I gotta tell you, the best thing about this car, in my opinion, is the storage capacity. Check this out. Now, on the base trim, you don't get the power liftgate. You can unlock it from the remote, but it's not power. You have to go to the highest end trim to get the power liftgate. See how much room we have. So this is how it opens. Opens nice and tall, and check out the roominess in here. Now, this is probably the largest in its class. Volkswagen says it's about 27 cubic feet of room in behind the seats. Now, if you do fold the seats, which we're going to do in just a little bit, you get more than 56 cubic feet. So that's a lot of storage right here. Now, what else do we have here? Now, I mentioned that there's really nothing added to this vehicle other than some accessories, and that would be the roadside assistance kit. You have the all-season mats, you have the first aid kit, and that's another first aid kit. And do we have anything underneath this floor over here? Yep, there's a spare tire and the wheels, the tools to remove it. Well, no illumination. Oh yeah, there is one. There's an LED light actually on both sides. Over here you have little hooks for your grocery bags if you'd like to. And this cargo cover is removable, so you can actually undo it and take it out completely. And now if you wanted to fold the seats down, well, I wish that there would be some easier way of doing it from the inside of the trunk, but you have to reach out, and if you're told, it's not a big deal. You can actually do that. And here you go. I'm dropping those seats down, so this is how much room you're gonna have. Now, this is fully removable as well, so we're gonna take that out, and here you go. This is the full, like, almost 60 cubic feet of storage. You don't really need the SUV to get that now. That's just about the same as in Volkswagen Tiguan. So one thing you definitely need to worry about in this Arteon is the roominess in here. Look, I'm 6 feet tall. I have probably about 3 inches, if not more, in front of my legs. I probably have about 3 inches above my head. Plenty of shoulder room. It feels comfortable. It feels very spacious and roomy. So let me show you the rest of the interior. Let's start it with the rear door panel right here. I like it. I mean, it looks premium, but this is a base model, so probably this is not leather. Most likely a leatherette like you find on the interior. A little bit of a piano black trim and 2 speaker covers, one on top, one on the bottom. Of course, you do have your window controls and the door handle. A little bit more storage right to the bottom here. And as you walk inside of this vehicle, you can see how spacious this is. Now, it is a leatherette, as I mentioned before, so it's not real leather. You have to go to the SEL Premium to get the Napa leather, which is going to be really, really nice. And right in the middle here, you do have a armrest slash console that opens up. It does have the cup holders, and if you want just a simple pass-through, you can just open this piece right over here. If you have skis or anything longer, you can just carry that through here. What else do we have here? We have vents for the rear seats, very nice. There's no controls in the front, but there's controls, no controls in the back, but there's controls in the front of this vehicle, and the power outlet over here. Seat back pockets on both seats, and you have this little bump because it's also available in 4Motion. So let's first take a listen of how these doors sound when they close. Boom, it's pretty nice and solid. Now, considering this is a frameless design, which means it doesn't have a frame on top of the window over here, so only the bottom portion is really solid. Taking a look at this front door panel, you see a little bit of a difference. You see this pretty cool trim right on top of this piano black trim. Give you a close-up, hopefully it zooms in really nicely. You can see this like 3D looking trim, very nice. And then right at the bottom of it, you still have this insert. That's probably that leatherette trim with some contrast stitching. Of course, your window mirrors and lock controls. That's where you open your or release your power hatch or the gate in the back. Like I said, that only releases it, doesn't lift it automatically. Now, as far as the rest of this interior, let's take a quick look. The seats in the front, slightly contoured, not too bad. They're nice, they feel comfortable. And then they're power seats on both driver and passenger side, even on the base model. And then you look at these pedals, definitely on the sporty side, a lot of rubber on these aluminum pedals. And on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have the light controls. That's pretty much it. Now let's explore it a little bit further. Interior of this 2022 Volkswagen Arteon SE R looks pretty premium, if you ask me. It does have a lot of features that you would have to pay extra at some of the competitors. But let's first take a look and take a glimpse of the design of this interior first. It is very German. It's very simple. There's not a lot of shapes or angles, but it is well built. It's well put together. And I gotta tell you, I like this top dashboard right here, and I like how it connects to the trim, which has this 3D design. There's a little bit of piano black on both sides of this other aluminum trim over here, and then a glove box right underneath here. Now, the vents are nicely incorporated into this trim, and they are in the middle and on both sides. In the middle, you have this 8-inch screen, which is not the biggest one, but we'll take a look and talk about it in just a little bit. And then you have this 10.25-inch instrument cluster, Volkswagen digital cockpit, and you have your steering wheel. Now, the steering wheel is flat at the bottom. It is leather wrapped. It's kind of beefy. It feels nice to the touch. It does have a big Volkswagen logo right here and a bunch of buttons on both sides. The one thing I don't like about it is that all of this piano black. This is a fingerprint magnet. You're gonna have a lot of fingerprints on that, but let's take a look and see what's going on the left-hand side here. Left-hand side, basically, this is your cruise control settings. So you have your main cruise control, and then you can accelerate, decelerate, set, or resume. And then you have the volume button right here. Now, this is one of the things that you're probably gonna have to take some time to get used to it, just because this is that slide volume button. Basically, all you do is slide your finger across it, and it's gonna increase the volume. It kind of gives you a little bit of a feedback with the vibration, but you know, it's not my thing, I guess. On this side over here, that's where you control what's going on in the digital cockpit. So basically you have this view button that changes. There's 3 different views that you can choose from, and then you can change different settings over here. Okay, of course, it's kind of like the enter button that, you know, selects the one that you want. And then of course you can control the different stations, the different presets using these buttons over here, and you have the voice control button. One thing to mention is you do have the pedal shifters in the back here, so that it can be fun, you know, while driving. Take a look at this 10.2-inch digital cockpit. That's actually pretty cool. There's 3 different views that are available. This is the classic one. So what we have here is we have the speedometer on the right-hand side, tachometer on the left-hand side, and then you have different options that you can choose in the middle. So let's go through those first. So you have the media first, so that's your radio. Now, my phone is connected here, so this is your telephone, vehicle status, and then you can go up and down, basically. Start-stop system is available, tire pressure, and then we can move on to the driving data. And, you know, you can have the range energy consumer, speed, oil temperature, trip. You can set that all up. A lot of people just leave it in speed, just that's going to display right in the middle, although this would be redundant because you'll have two of them. Anyways, well, you go to the assist system, you have the side assist, rear traffic alert, front assist, and that's what's available on here. Then you have your navigation system, which is standard again with this vehicle, and if you don't like it, you can use your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as well. So this is as far as the different settings on the inside. This is 3 different views. This is like the minimal views that just shows you, you know, your media at this point, and you can, you know, change what's playing or navigation or driving data. But that's very minimalistic. As you can see, the only thing you can see at the bottom is your miles per hour, the gear indicator, the cruise control, trip, etc. And another view you can set it up for is this. And this is your navigation system in case you didn't want to have it on your main screen. Over in the infotainment system, you can have your navigation system right in front of you. That still is going to give you at the bottom your miles per hour, you know, all that basic stuff, but then you won't have to take the eyes off of the road, basically just look down and see your navigation system. Well, some people like it, some people don't. I want to keep it in just a regular, I like the dials to be on my screen. Moving down to the right hand side, you have this infotainment system. This is the 8-inch screen, so not the biggest one out there, but you know, it is pretty functional. As you can see, it does have an Android Auto, and in this case I am connected wirelessly through the Android Auto right now through my phone. There's no cables required or anything like this. You also have various different settings. Let's go back to the Volkswagen menu. All right, so now you have my phone is connected, the S22 Ultra. And let's go back to the home screen, which I'm trying to figure out of where that is. I thought I saw it somewhere, but I guess you can go through radio, and you can see you have the AM, Sirius XM, Internet, radio, My Media, or Bluetooth audio. Those are your media options. Again, you go back to media. No playable files are available on my phone. Surprise, surprise. Phone, voice, you can control it through via voice, and then you can select what you want to control. So basically go back from here. Let's close this up. On the other side, you have your navigation button, so you can actually put in the destination however you want it. You can, I don't know, put gas station, maybe gas station in the vicinity. Boom, it's going to show you where the gas stations are. There's a lot of them, no surprise here, and that's within basically maybe a 10 miles radius. So the navigation system, I've seen that on other Volkswagen models. This is not my favorite navigation system. It is functional though, so if you don't like using that, you can use your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Let's go to apps. Now I have my Android Auto playing over here. Let's go to the car settings. So you can see tire pressure monitoring system, vehicle status, says okay, drive safely, thank you very much. That is it, what we have in here. And then the main menu, that's where it's at. Main menu is right at the bottom. So you have the different options: radio, telephone, navigation, assist systems. Let's see what we have. So you basically have the front assist and the side assist, and you can see it right there. You can turn that on or off. And let's go back to and see the vehicle. Now this is the base trim level. On the higher end trim level, you do have an upgraded stereo, but you also have like this 30 color ambient lighting, which you don't have on this particular one. But then again, we're looking at this base model trim. So go back to the menu. Sound, you can adjust the sound however you like it. Again, this is a pretty decent sound system. Climate control, so you can control it through here, or you can control it through another place, which I'm going to show you later. This one gives you this pretty nice animation, and then you can control your rear vents from the front as well, which is pretty premium if you ask me. Now if you go to the settings over here, you can have a variety of settings that you can change: screen time, date, language, more keypad options, restore factory settings in case you mess something up, configuration wizard, VW CarNet registration, all of that good stuff. So you can do it all from here. Scrolling down, that's where your climate control settings are. And see, that's one of the reasons I don't like this piano black. It's all shiny and it's all reflective, and it's kind of hard to see. It's not when I'm looking at it, but then again, it's going to be the fingerprint magnet. So what you see in here, right on top of here, you have the heated seats, 3-stage heated seats on the base model. This is how you change the temperature. You basically slide your finger on here, and then it's going to show you what temperature it's setting to. So the same thing with the fan. You know, this is how you control the fan control, and then different vent positioning that the air is coming out of. It actually opens up the screen on top that gives you a little bit more options. So you just select, hey, I want all of this to be blowing at me, and then you can hit that menu on and then off as far as the system in here. So we're gonna turn that back on because it's really hot. And scrolling down in here, pretty nice shifter on this Volkswagen Arteon base edition. Let's put it in reverse and let's see how that camera looks like. All right, so it gives me the warning saying, hey, you know what, there's something going on, and there's a nice Porsche being unloaded from this vehicle. Beautiful. All right, so it does have the trajectory lines. You move it right and left, and you can see where, you know, this is where your bumper ends, basically. So if you are in the red, basically stop, don't go any further, you'll hit something. The quality of it, however, it's not the best. Actually, it's very subpar, if you ask me. It doesn't have a lot of pixels. But let's get out of this camera here and let's see what else we have. So the shifter, you have the different drive modes. So here's the drive modes. Again, this opens up, basically hit the drive mode, and it's going to open up this setting over here. So you can have eco, comfort, normal, sport, and custom. I'm going to leave it in sport just because I like to test it in sport. That's it, no other reason. And right here you can turn off that engine start and stop button, as well as, of course, you can shift gears. You had the pedal shifters on the steering wheel, but if you prefer to do it, you know, this way, you put it in the sport mode and then you go up and down on the gears. Now you have to be in the sport mode, and the order to notice that here, it says S right in the middle of this dial. And move it to the right, up and down, and that's gonna allow you to shift your gears. Put it back in park. Electronic parking brake, auto hold button, that's for your brakes, and cup holders. Nothing too crazy. One more thing. All right, you do have a wireless charging pad right in front of here, so it does have the wireless charging for your phone, in case you were wondering about that. And right here, this console opens up. You have two USB-C ports right there for an extra charging. Nothing too crazy on the top console. This vehicle doesn't have a sunroof, so you do have 3 buttons: information, SOS, tool button right here. You do have the sunglasses holder. All right, rear lights, front light controls. That's basically it. You actually have to press the button. And visors have illuminated mirrors, LED illumination right there. This is it. That's the interior of it. Take it for a spin. Super excited because I'm gonna get this vehicle on the road and see how that new engine performs in this Arteon series Volkswagen. Now, before we do that, let's check out the different versions that are available. So there's an SE R-line, which is the one that I'm sitting in right now, the basic one, starting MSRP $40,750. Like I mentioned before, this one with destination and a few added accessories, about $42,500. If you move on to the SE R-line, your MSRP is going to start at $45,550, and the highest end trim SEL Premium R-line starting at $49,550. Now that does come standard with the 4Motion. It does come standard with several different features that are not available on this one. It's got this nice lit grille in front, but then you're looking at a difference of about $10,000. So is it worth it? Well, I don't know, maybe. That would be probably your choice to design, but anyways, I wanted to show you of what you get for the base vehicle in the Arteon here, and I'm happy to report that so far I like it. It does have a lot of extra premium options. It does have the same engine, same transmission as the higher trim end, so it's just the accessories or the amenities that you have in the vehicle that might sway you one way or the other. And of course, the budget Can't forget about that. Now, before we take it on the full road test, let's take it and right here in the parking lot and turn it around 360 degrees. So I do have this wheel all the way to the left, and let's see. All right, well, it is a large sedan. It is definitely not as tight as some of the mid-size sedan, but that's to be expected. However, it's still nice and tight. On the road, it feels very, very nice, guys. You know, I know that sedans are a dying breed. A lot of manufacturers are kind of going away with it and, you know, putting all of the resources into the SUVs, also the electrification of the fleet, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, there is certain people that would not buy an SUV, and I know personally a few of them. Now, I don't mind SUVs. I like them. I think they're needed, and, you know, for my family needs, SUV is actually a perfect solution. However, a lot of people would argue that, hey, this is a better driving. You don't have the same driving dynamics in the SUV as you do in the sedan. It's lower to the ground, it's better handling, it's better performance, it's better gas mileage and all that stuff. And all of these are valid points. And a lot of people were complaining about not having enough room in the sedan versus an SUV, and I think with having that fastback in this particular case, Volkswagen kind of answered that question as well, because now you have 27 cubic feet behind the seats, 60 almost, with the seats folded down. That's just about the same as a Volkswagen Taos, so you do have quite a bit of room. Now, as far as the performance of this vehicle, I hope to have a stretch of road where I can actually open it up a little bit. A few things to point out though, you know, as far as the visibility from inside of this vehicle. The front windshield, no problem. Side view, great. I would like maybe the mirrors to be a little bit bigger because they're kind of limit the view. Also, the rear view mirror, once you have those headrests up in the back, you really have a very tiny area that you can see out of. So I think a solution for that would be to have that digital mirror that you see on some of the other vehicles. That would definitely solve that. As far as the infotainment system, no question about it. One of the nicest one for the base sedan. You have all the bells and whistles that you can think of. You know, with the upgraded version, you'll get, you know, the premium stereo. You might have a 360 camera or stuff like this, but this one is definitely a premium infotainment system for the base price, as well as the digital cockpits. So let's hit it. Well, I can hear that tire chirping right there. And we got it up to about 58, 50, 60 miles per hour. So there you go. That was your 0 to 60. So there's a couple of takeaways from that. First of all, that tire chirping tire is a happy tire, as somebody once said, but sometimes it could be a little bit too much torque to that, and there was no launch control or anything like this. Also, the second thing, there was quite a bit of lag from when I actually pressed the gas pedal to when the vehicle reacted. I'm not sure if that was that turbo lag itself or if it was maybe that dual clutch transmission not engaging as it should. So overall, once it started rolling, it actually, you know, like from a slingshot, it sprung me pretty quick, so there's no complaints about it, and I'm pretty sure you can get used to it and kind of figure it out and adjust your gas pedal accordingly. I mean, your foot on the gas pedal. So definitely, I mean, you're not going to compete with the vehicles like, you know, the thoroughbreds, sports car, like maybe an S5 Audi or an M5 BMW, anything like this, but definitely it does have very substantial power for what this is. A huge improvement from what I hear from the previous generation one. Now here you had 6.4 seconds on the previous generation one from 0 to 60. Some people tested this at 4.6 seconds, so almost 2 seconds it shaved off. 30 horsepower extra, but a different motor in this vehicle. It makes a huge difference. It drives nice and smooth. It does have a decent visibility. It does have a good pickup, with the exception of that very first moment when you hit that accelerator. And you know, as far as the handling of it, it sits pretty tight on the ground. Now, it's not a sports car, so it's actually probably more geared towards luxury, because it's a very nice and soft ride on it. So maybe I would like to see that a little bit tighten up. It probably would help with the driving dynamics, but for overall performance, it's a very comfortable, quiet, nice right. Very good sedan. I'm glad I did it. This is the first Arteon that I had on my channel. I'm super glad that I did it. Guys, if you're anywhere in Florida, check out the guys at Bob Boast Volkswagen in Bradenton. Great group of people. They'll help you out with your next car purchase. They have some pretty cool vehicles on their used car inventory as well. So I'll post a link to their website in the description of this video, as well as the phone number. If you're interested in the new or pre-owned Volkswagen, definitely do give them a call. Plus they have some other high-end cars that are pretty cool. Well, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you liked it, and I hope that you're gonna do that right now. There's a little red button at the bottom of this video. It's called subscribe. Once you go ahead and hit that, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.